Damn. Getting funky and fancy up in here.
The claps are coming early already.
I know, man. It's like it's good or something. Hey, guys, you let us know if audio is good. I know video is always shitty because, I'm sitting not with a good-looking fellas, so you cannot make that video good. Yeah, let us know if audio is good, and if it is, I'll shut up and I'm going to let these two guys talk because,
This wasn't your first Vlad seminar.
No, my first one was over 28 years ago in Chicago. So I was telling Megan, I'm like, this is interesting, bringing in my family and my 16-year-old son, and then quite a few friends and students to have their first taste, so to speak, of what Vlad puts down on the table. Over 28 years later, after I had my first sampling of his dishes. So yeah, it wasn't my first time around with that.
Yeah, so it definitely it was my first seminar with Vlad, and seeing his work in person. There's a huge difference of seeing it live versus seeing it in video. Did you feel that?
Oh,
too,
definitely.
Josh?
Well, that's the kind of a recurring theme in a lot of the stuff, and then the next level above that is feeling it.
Yeah.
But like on
Of
video,
course.
like our first topic, downrange drills, it looks dangerous. And then some of these other things like, oh, it looks dangerous, but like you got to do it. And that's something that you see even competition shooters like, occluded shooting, like, oh, you got to do it before you should have an opinion. But it's like, oh, well, that looks fake, so it's bullshit. Like, I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, the big thing was like on videos, seeing and so like experiencing stuff that you've done with us in class, like the it's fake part got kind of removed from my head. So at least when I was watching videos of Vlad's work, after feeling some of the things that I've felt, I'm like, okay, it's got to be legit, right? And the way that you talk about Vlad, I'm like, okay, so it's got to be legit, but like on video, there's still almost I don't want to say intent or like implied intent, but in person, like walking up to him, there's no level of like anticipatory, or I don't know if I'm finding the words right. Do you kind of know where I'm going?
I know where you're going, and that's something that in Systema, some of the guys, and I know it's not Vladimir Mikhail that coined the term, but some people, refer to it as like zero state of being. It's like you're not happy, you're not sad, you're not expecting anything, yet you are not rejecting that anything can happen. It's just kind of I am. Yeah. You know what I mean? And with Vlad, that thing is so, I don't know how to describe it. It's just not, unassuming does not do the justice. It's.
No, it was like inviting to me. It almost like stories of like sirens that cause shipwrecks. It's like, come on in. Nothing bad could happen. Like, come on in. And like listening to you and Clem talk, and talking about the differences in your work with his, where like picking up on some of that made me feel like maybe I am starting to get and be able to see and feel that stuff. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, I was totally blown away at almost how like
he doesn't have a fighter presence. He doesn't have a tough MMA guy presence. He doesn't have a cold-blooded killer presence. There's just like nothing. I mean, there's a dude, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, he doesn't invite conflict. He certainly doesn't look like an easy target if someone was looking for one. He's just kind of like someone that you would like your eyes would scan it and total overlook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a ghost.
Yep.
You know, and that's something that I've been trying to tell you that, guys, over quite some time now, and it's hard to describe. Once you start yapping about it, people go like, "That's bullshit. You are beholden by Vlad and all that." And I go, "No, not really." But once you in his presence and once you see him do what he does, again, it's at first it's very very obscure, but with time it becomes like you start picking up some details. You start seeing certain things that his posture, his movement, his very breathing makes him disappear in the crowd, but at the same time you feel there's something different. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's still obscure. It's
Yeah,
still
well,
obscure.
Yeah.
some of the arguments like, oh, it's choreographed or it's pre-selected people, like people like you like when you break it down, and part of it is like if you don't know what you're looking at, you overlook so much. But when you break it down slowly, you can see that, each arm and each leg, and then, sometimes, the elbows and the knees are all doing something separate, totally in
Yeah.
time with each other, and then not reproducible because the person's doesn't even know what they're doing. So like to choreograph that on the spot, like that's more impossible than this being legit. But like I would invite anybody who thinks it's fake or choreographed to take the Pepsi challenge and see if you can taste the difference.
Yeah.
Like there is a few dudes, like there's a dude Inside Fighting. He's got a channel and he went to one, and then Sensei Seth went to one. He like they're both like reviewing martial arts, and some of them, like the Sensei Seth video was like, I tried the weirdest martial art, and some of the stuff on video looks weird.
No, I don't deny that.
But
It's like,
if you showed a child like what magnets do, they'd be like, oh, magic, got it.
yeah.
Like that's sometimes how I feel when it's like, oh, like this weird thing is happening,
Yeah.
like my balance is off and whatever is going on, like.
And here's another person who is there. He could feel what we're talking about. So it's not just us trying to say stuff on camera, but that to me was like the biggest kind of, or first impression, like difference from video. It was like, wow, like I thought there would be a certain level of fear because I know what he's capable of, and it just like it wasn't there. It, I don't know, very 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 weird, like almost. And then watching him working, it's like people are like walking along a dock, and like you expect that next step, like there's 3 more feet of dock, you know what I mean? But all of a sudden, nope.
It
Like,
evaporates.
yeah.
Like on the spot, evaporates.
Yeah, it was gone, and that dude's wet. He thought he had another 2 steps before he was going to even have to look over the edge, and he's already in the water.
And that's the thing, you can talk technicalities. You can sit down with professional fighters and dissect, the timing, the selection of targets, the precision of his work, the offbeat, so to speak, Danny Carey like, you know what I mean, syncopation and polyrhythm in his work, because it's not that predictable bam, 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 right? It's like shit bounces off of inside of your arm and then hits you, under your chin, and then somehow finds its way in your under your belly button, and at the same time while he's breaking your ankle, and you're like, fucking,
Yeah.
you know, creatures with full limbs should not be able to do it. This is like an octopus type of business,
And to be able to do it without actually causing injury is like a whole nother level. Or
And I can
like,
tell you from
right?
experience, like Vladimir, like I joked with you guys, right? I'm going like, after 20 plus years doing his thing and all that stuff, some people go like, yeah, your work is kind of similar like Vladimir was back in, let's say 1998. And I'm like, yeah, cool. Well, guess what? Vladimir wasn't sleeping since 1998.
Yeah.
So I kind of like caught up to him the way he was, let's say 20 years ago, right? But he moved on by another 30 years.
Yeah.
So now I'm looking at 50-year gap and I'm 56. Better find them fucking that youth elixir or something like that. No, but talking of that, like injuries, right? So a few guys that you guys met there, myself and then Martin Wheeler, of course. We started training under Vladimir. It was rough, man. There was blood. You know what I mean? Like in classes and seminars, there was blood, and I'm not talking drip, drip. I'm talking splat. That kind of blood. And people go like, oh, so he has gotten softer, right? And I go like, no, I think Vladimir has gotten so much better that he has such a precision of self-control that he can move into you fast, but at the last moment, it's almost like his fist has its own airbag. You don't need to deploy yours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of like saves you. Sometimes it doesn't because I still feel him on my ribs. He somehow touched me because he kind of waved his finger at me. He goes like, "You committed your weight. You got stuck," and I feel that stuck in my ribs, especially when I cough. But these are lessons learned. But back in the day, man, it wasn't because he was more brutal or he was doing more combative version of Systema or whatnot. It's just that today, the way Vlad is, he has all that. I can guarantee you he has all that and then some. But his ability to control it is extraordinary.
Yeah.
I don't have that ability to control. Sometimes I whack people harder than I should, and it's not because I per se want to. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
my body is not yet, and psyche is not so fine tuned to have that precision of what needs to be delivered every fucking single time.
Yeah, it's like the cat that can keep the mouse alive for 3 days
Yeah.
versus 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like either way, it's a cat playing with a mouse, but like the one cat realizes like, hey, it doesn't have to go and be so violent right away. Or like you talk about in, de-escalation class, like when you're dealing with drunk uncle, right? Or you're dealing with your brother. If you're having a fight with your brother, do you want to stab him?
Or break his neck
in the
just because he's
Venetian
drunk.
or snap his neck because that's the only level that you can come out on top at. Or
like gun people, like shoot him in the face.
Yeah.
Because that's all they know.
I mean, it happened at SHOT Show. A brother stabbed a brother allegedly, right?
Yeah.
So like, or is putting him on the ground with like
almost with
seemingly zero effort and like to the point where it's like you probably don't want to continue you don't want to get up and come at him aggressively again.
Again, like we talked earlier, I think Josh mentioned, a lot of guys out there, and I posted a couple of video clips from some of my work from back in 2015 or whatever it was when I was teaching in Netherlands, and bunch of screechers came out. This is Bullshido. This would never work in a real fight, and I'm sure they have resumes of hundreds of real fights to prove because I don't throw out my resume, so. Let's just assume I've never been in one, and they go like, well, if those guys were real fighters, and I could have responded that those two Moroccan brothers that worked with me there are professional MMA fighters. They're professional fucking MMA fighters. They're no slouches by any means. You know what I mean? But you kind of go like, are we working here on credentialism? You know what I mean? Or we actually sifting out the fools, the idiots, the screechers of the fucking internet that you go like, you know what? Expose yourself for the idiot you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because for one, I can guarantee you, and by the way, invitation is with me always open. You want to test it? Come at me. bro. You know,
Right.
one guy in the message, he goes like, so light sparring? No protective gear. Let's go.
Right. If it's fake,
Let's go.
well, I mean,
sparring.
like if it's actually fake, like you would be totally
Because
fine.
light sparring, if we do light sparring, you're gonna film it. He goes like, well, see, he was able to take me down because I wasn't going full speed, right? Dial it up, brother.
Yeah.
110%. I'm 56. I'm old. Come at me, bro.
And that's where I think, like, the detractors, like having experienced some, like coming in full speed is probably,
It's very stupid.
yeah, and
But hey,
like you can only get worse results. It seems like it's kind of like if you had to hit your head on a brick wall, like you might want to just do it softly and learn that the brick is hard.
you know
rather than
that T-shirt that you guys love, Sunny with a Chance of Pain, where that sunshine smiling and it has a shiner under its eye. It's actually a drawing from one of students from Montreal who was a training partner with Georges St. Pierre. Georges St. Pierre is not a real fighter. He doesn't know shit about fighting, except that people like Khabib consider him the greatest of all time, right? Anyway, so this guy came to my seminar in Montreal in 2011, and honest dude, been doing MMA for many, 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 many years, went different places, trained with different people, besides training with Georges St. Pierre. And he asked me a question, but it was not like, it wasn't demeaning. He goes like, I really don't see how this could work. Under real pressure and the real speed and all that.
Like as a student.
As a student, he asked,
yeah.
as a student, and I go
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
would you like to try it? He goes like, would you be okay with it? I'm like, yeah. He's like, so you want me to come at you like full on? I'm like, yeah. He goes, what do you want me to do? I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Don't tell me what you're about to do.
So
I'll figure it out.
So he came at me, and then he woke up, and he asked me to sit on the sidelines for a little bit because he was a little queasy and all that, and that's where that drawing came out from, Sonny with a Chance of Pain. It's from that guy, and I love the guy, because he was honest, and I could probably count on two hands people that were sometimes loud detractors, sometimes on the internet, that actually had decency, balls, and man card to show up and go like, yo, dude, I know I talked shit. I honestly want to fucking feel it.
Yeah, I would respect.
I love it,
that
man.
so much
Not
more.
because I get to beat somebody up or whatnot. It's not the point, But this is the dude that puts his balls on the plate and brings him with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not through 800 miles. I used to be a level 2 high school wrestling coach, and I served in the Marines. Thus, I know violence.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? Are you serious?
Right.
And this is not, oh, so you think wrestling is not real? Oh, so you think Marines don't know? If you guys ask those questions, you really need to go and pray a little bit more about a few extra points of IQ to be delivered down.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm not trying to be like disrespectful or whatnot, but this kind of fucking infant level talk, you kind of go like, I thought we're in the group of men that talk about violence where people may die, where we may need to take, God forbid, what we may need to take a life to protect another, you know what I mean? Or our own or whatnot. And it's not a fucking light topic to talk about. But they never tasted sugar and they go, I hate the way the sugar tastes.
Mm-hmm.
They never smelled the caviar, but they go like, just looking at it, it looks like shit.
Yeah.
That's the level, if that's the level of expertise you bring, and in your own group within your 200 or 20,000, like-minded individuals, that's what you guys are. I'm really not in the business to change your minds because I don't know how to work with two molecules, because that's pretty much what your minds are like. Again, people will go like, oh, so you think you're smarter? No, I just think you're stupid.
Right. Well, when it all boils down, it's just a shooting problem, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
So I don't know, man. To me, it's.
But credit to those dudes who do come at it
I love it.
like as a student.
I love it.
Because
I love it. A lot of them became actually close friends.
Yeah.
We're still in touch with quite a few of them. And I can use credentialism and drop some of the people, I don't know, some of the people that think the Systema is bullshit. Let me drop one name that most of you may know. Pat Miletich, one of the greatest MMA coaches ever. I believe 5 UFC champions trained by Pat Miletich, besides Pat Miletich himself being ex-UFC champion and UFC MMA Hall of Fame guy. Uh, we're close friends. We had conversations. We had things. Do you think Pat Miletich would come out and go like, Sonny, dude, what are you doing is fucking bullshit? No. He invites me to his podcast to talk about stuff. We have I mean, I'm sure Pat Miletich just wants to suck Sonny Puzikos' dick because, you know what I mean? I'm such a great fucking celebrity and all that Pat Miletich needs to make me feel good, right? Or to talk good about stuff that I do. Now, that's one name. Guys, that's one of hundreds. Do you think that these guys that walk around and nobodies, I mean, we're not going to mention like his last name or not, Phil, right? Our friend Phil.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to compare resumes as far as where you've been, who you killed, and what you've done. You're more than welcome to. I just can pretty much tell you you'll be embarrassed. And if you want to cross hands with Phil,
yeah,
but by all means.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind. Yeah.
And there's hundreds of dudes like that. You've seen some of them in the seminar this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They don't walk thumping their chest, I'm former this, I'm former that.
Yeah.
Our friend Clem, for fuck's sake, until Saturday, we didn't know that he's BJJ brown belt.
Right.
He doesn't talk about it.
Right. Well, on the other hand, like the pure negative side of credentialism, like it's a big problem, especially and especially with the U.S. military, but the military in general. Oh, I was special forces or I was a ranger. Okay, does that mean like you were like fucking actually Rambo, or you were the guy that didn't pass your qual and then got shipped back out or something?
And not even that.
You did
like Josh, I can tell you, like having done quite a bit of training in Spec Ops community and all that. Very, 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 very few, and it's not even on the unit level. Individuals within units possess legitimate fighting skills. Very few. Everything in the Western militaries, to a large degree, is weapons based, and it's understandable. That's modern battlefield.
Yeah.
Culture in Western militaries, as far as combatives hand to hand, is very different. So to reference former CAG guy, and he thinks that Taekwondo is bullshit or Muay Thai is bullshit or whatever else the CAG guy says is bullshit, I have news for you. The weight of his word in this field is significantly less than this guy because he's already taken some classes and beating some deep strikes. Right. Significantly less. You go like, oh, you're disrespecting CAG guys? Nope.
Well, if it's not their area of expertise, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if it was their area of expertise,
it's different when four of you are shooting some inbred dude while he's sleeping.
Right.
it's probably a little bit different than having to put hands on somebody.
Yeah, but that play, that call to credentialism because something is respected in the white internet circles, or this or that. And I go like, dude, if I started putting down the names of people that trained, bowed down, and go like, holy shit, I guess I could be vindicated, and people will go like, whoa, man. But if that's what it takes,
yeah.
If it takes fucking Tom Cruise to say that Sonny can kick ass, you should keep watching Mission fucking Impossible.
Yeah.
You should keep watching Mission Impossible because that's where it's at for you. Do we have any angry comments?
Let's see what Clem dropped a long one. A lot of words, smart guy. Martin Wheeler has a video on his channel from none other than Regan Machado saying Systema is an awesome compliment to BJJ.
Yeah.
Dude, I was blown away at one. It seems like there was more females and some decent looking females doing hand-to-hand combatives more than I see in firearms training.
I know.
Which is kind of weird because you would think, hey, little lady, equal the playing field out, get you this Roscoe.
How about that 17-year-old chick that Clem was wrestling?
No, that.
By the way, she messaged me.
Yeah.
She wants to talk to my son.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man.
I heard. Yeah, she was. They were outside, and then she walked away. Nick was like, "I got a number." I was like, "All right, Nick, way to go, bud." Yeah,
no, but cool young ladies, and they serious about it.
Yeah,
they're serious about it.
There was a few that I paired up with. And I'm like, all right, here's a girl that like all of 110 pounds, and like hitting like a brick, or just like I don't think my strength would not allow like overpowering immediately, and it was a weird feeling where like, man, yeah, it would take a while to like end this, like.
And then also look at the number of fit dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Fit dudes, strong, big, fit,
and the way that they were moving, right? Because up till this seminar, like my experience with the people walking around doing this was like videos of Vlad, and then whatever in our classes, feeling Clem start getting good at stuff and delivering strikes, but then seeing like, oh, like there's people out there, like that's a little scary.
Most of them are pretty decent folks, though.
Yeah,
from what I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's I don't know. It's this argument, Systema is bullshit. It would never work in the real fight. Is as old as Systema becoming public,
right?
And I remember, man, when I was like a big name within Systema community, senior instructor and this and that, and I was very proud of it. I was this fucking crusader on the internet. I would go and argue all of these motherfuckers and, go like, oh yeah. Vlad would just look at me and go like, Systema doesn't need defending. And I go like, but they disrespectful, but they Vlad goes like, Systema doesn't need defending. It can defend itself. When the time comes, and you go like, but those guys are saying that it's never been used in UFC, and Vladimir goes like, yeah, they're probably right, and and I'm like, fuck, teach me how to breathe, and he doesn't care.
Mm-hmm. That's like when James like, hey, this competition shooter dude saying that like blah blah blah, and Jaeger would be like, that's nice. Yeah. That's good. That's nice for him.
Yeah. And that's pretty much Vlad's attitude, and Misha's attitude was even more so about it. Misha would take a big bite of a fucking donut and go like, he's got the point. And I go like, these guys, like it's kind of like when you are so good, proving that you're good feels almost like a fucking insult.
Yeah, well, that's like,
you know what I'm saying.
The bee's not going to take the time to tell the flies that like, hey, this honey's a little bit sweeter than that pile of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're either going to get it or you're not. Like, fair point.
Fate got good at kick escapes and tripping you up. Yeah, Fate is one of the ladies that trains at Gene's group there in Austin, and she's friends with Clem, and so I met her back last year when I went to Vlad's seminar in Philadelphia. Yeah, she's pretty cool young lady. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool to see also some like local communities and groups like traveling to training together.
Yeah, I guess we had guys from Carolinas, we had guys coming from New Mexico, the whole group there, and some from California, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's always been that way in Systema since I can remember. You would have, this instructor over there from San Francisco area, and there's 4 of his students with him, and and it's pretty cool. It's always like, and then, you know, everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people, of course, flashing their colors of their school T-shirts and all that. You know, and go like it's like a gang stuff going on. You know? Pretty cool, you know. Of course, our gang always lifts our T-shirts, and there are Glocks there, and they go like, "Oh, this gang is crazy." You know?
Yeah, yeah. At one point, so I was wearing, what's it called? The smart carry holster, because I was like, I don't know, blades, and you never know when if blades come out. So I had a tourniquet and a shield in the smart carry, just like, you know, there's a ballroom full of people.
Yeah.
If anything were to pop off, or, you know, some weirdo comes into the hotel, like, you know, I'm gonna stay armed unless need not be.
Yeah.
But, you know, it wasn't restricting my movement, and like nothing until was working with one girl, and she was asking what I do, and like, you know, talk firearms. She's like, "Oh, that's one thing I've never worked with," and I'm like, "Yeah, you know, a lot of people that do it think that that's the thing that's going to save them." Like, and like 2 seconds later, boom, she hits me with a knee right in the gun, and I was like, I think my gun did save me on that one. And then a little while later, Vlad hit me, and he looks at you and goes, "Ah, a sportsman, huh?" So he thought it was a cup, I think. And he was like, "You shouldn't wear those because then you don't know how to take the hits." I'm like, "Oh no, it's not a cup, I swear."
It's the other safety equipment, I promise.
Right. Yeah, and so I don't know. Do we have any like questions or anything?
Cool part as a student is when your teacher sets you up to train with other instructors. Yeah, that was really cool to see, because you don't really see that in the firearms world. Like Josh and I were talking about that the other day. Like James might have been the only dude who would like be like,
he was more than an exception than the rule in firearms.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Hey, the 4 of us are going to gun sight to take this class," or, you know, and he'd post it out there where he was going to train, come take the class. Like, and
he was one of the very few that also hosted sometimes instructors who were totally contradictory approaches and methodologies, you know, and he's like, let people see it, let people experience, let people make their own decisions.
Part of that is kind of the same answer that you said Vlad would give about Systema. Is like, okay, it doesn't need defending, but in, you know, I forget which video it was, but he was like, well, if you're a serious student, you'll find your way here eventually.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Like, you know, for him, everything that he wrote down in, let's say, fighting pistol was it. So like, there's no reason that he would go to another class and be like, "Oh man, I really wish, you know, we would put some beeps in here," or whatever. It's just like, if, you know, he was definitely confident in what he had to offer.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, go train with this guy, go train with this guy. And then, you know, one of the jokes that I think is funny, he's like, you know, you don't know how good I am until you go train with John Lovell. It's like, boom, roasted. But it's like, you know, you're going to take away from stuff. Like, there's some stuff that TAC Response teaches, little things that are like, probably not my favorite. And that's the same like with John Farnham. Like, I've taken a ton of his classes, and then I've been through his instructor program.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that he does that I don't like, or that I have a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You know, same like across the board.
You know, with stuff that we don't like, right? You know, I always ask myself a question: if there's something out there that I don't like, first question I think would be this. Oh, so you don't like something? Let me rephrase it. Can you do that which you don't like? That specific thing.
Right.
You know, I don't like how John Farnham shoots upside down gun at 450 yards and hits bullseye every time. I can understand why you don't like it.
Yeah.
I can really understand why you don't fucking like it.
Yeah.
Now, if the answer is yes, I can do what he does, but I still don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You have to go deeper in examination and go like, okay, what is it that you don't like about it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it doesn't feel right. Oh, so we back into feels category, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't feel right. Oh, looky here, you have a belly hanging over your belt. That's maybe why those rolls don't feel good, because shit gets in the way. Lose some fucking weight. You may like it better, you know? So, this argument to me was always like, I'm like, first of all, if I cannot do it, I have not earned the right to like it or dislike it. I
Definitely.
haven't earned the right to like it or dislike it.
And
If I can, I need to look at it deeper and go like, all right, what is the purpose? What else carries with it? How it affects other things? What it leads to? You know, and then I would want to probably ask the guy who teaches that, and then go like, how is this more efficient or more meaningful or more applicable than this?
right.
Why would you pick that over that? I want to hear it from the horse's mouth instead of me trying something 3 times, this dribble or that dribble. I go like, yeah, I did it once, kind of through luck, but I don't like it. For most people, I can tell you this: when you guys say Systema is bullshit, I don't like it. First of all, you can't do 1% of what half-ass Systema people do.
Yeah. Well,
1%.
and a fair point, based on like specifically because you were talking like someone's limited perspective, like if you go someplace and try something once, like if you were trying to convince somebody that sushi's good, you wouldn't say, "Hey, go to this gas station." You'd be like, "Hey, this person
Yeah,
knows how to do it."
go talk to RJ, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, most
But-
gas stations.
but that's
like
the
Big Daddy exemption.
yeah that doesn't count. But it's kind of the same thing. Like, oh well, I've tried this once. Like I went to a karate class and then the guy like molested you or whatever. Like, yeah, I probably wouldn't like karate either. But
You sure it was that karate class or was that a Catholic? No, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah,
never
that's
mind.
how-
the other one.
That's where
the other one.
Gary, why? Gary. So Dylan's asking a question, completely out of element. What exactly is Systema? Clem gave the duh answer of it's Russian martial art. Do you want to give him a quick rundown on like do they call them pillars?
There is no quick rundown on Systema. Dylan. I mean, best I can tell you is this: go on Vladimir's website, and I'm not even guiding you towards mine. Go directly to the horse. Go to Vlad's website, RussianMartialArt.com. Look at some videos he has on YouTube channel. Again, some of it is gonna be hard to comprehend, man. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna look at it and you're gonna go like, "What in the fuck is this?"
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And I'm not gonna throw again any kind of resume points and fucking any of that shit and go like, well, if dudes like me found something in it, who's a black belt in this and that, 10 years of Sila, 10 years of Kuntao, Filipino arts, Sambo, Judo, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. But I want you to take a look at it and then do a little bit reading about it. There are people there are some Systema guys that are very, very quick. They want to become Insta famous. They jump on Instagram, they jump on YouTube, they put out videos. Look at Vlad's videos. You can look at some of mine. You can look at Martin Wheeler's videos. You can find a guy named Quan Lee and look at his videos. You can look at Patrick Van Neherent from Amsterdam. Look at his videos. I think it's called Somatic Club, if I'm not mistaken. Look at Adam Zettler videos. He's one of the best instructors out of Vladimir's school in Toronto. Look through those things and don't rush. Don't spend 5 minutes looking at 2 videos and go like, I got it. It's bullshit. No, take some time. Like, seriously, dude. And I'm not telling you, I'm not trying to sell you Systema. I'm not a salesman. I suck at selling shit, and I don't believe Systema is for sale. Look at it. And if you have functioning brain cells, I'm not saying that instantly things will click. But certain things like a Geiger counter will start going like I detect radiation here. There's something here. And that something is not going to be easy to understand at first. Well, you may know people, a few of them, that you may ask questions. But first, take a look at it. That's for me to define what is Systema, man. It's
It's
we used to
different.
laugh. We used to laugh when I was teaching back in like 2012 or something. I went to teach in Australia in Melbourne, and the guy who hosted me, we got quite intoxicated, and he came up with this phrase. He goes like, "It's an art of breeding that happens to be a hell of a way to kick ass and separate men from boys." And so however you want to define it is fine. Different people do Systema different ways. Some people that call it Systema, it's questionable if it is. And that's why I suggest you go to the source, write down the names that I said: Martin Wheeler, Quan Lee, Adam Zettler, Somatic Club in Amsterdam. They put out quality videos. There's quite a few other guys that do good work. Look at my website. I have a couple of things, a little bit on YouTube. But Vlad is a definite resource. He is the guy who trained all of us: Martin, Quan, Adam, myself. And we still go to him, and we still get manhandled while he's smiling. Vlad is exactly 10 years older than me. I'm 56. Vladimir is 66. Vladdy Daddy. What can I tell you, man? Vladdy Daddy. So I hope that helps, and I hope you will do it.
Yeah, he's pretty studious. He'll probably follow through on,
All right.
on looking at some stuff. And then I know earlier Clem had said, like,
I know why I need
that?
Systema. I see red.
See red.
That's exactly why you need Systema, is because
And-
you see red, and that seeing red will get you dead. Seeing red will get you dead. You do need Systema. You need to understand breathing. You need to understand your own nervous system, your anxieties, your fears. Seeing red is a sure sign you are very, very scared little boy.
It was interesting at the seminar, right? Because sometimes we're working with same dudes when we're doing stuff around here, but then kind of like working with different bodies, right? And different
experience levels,
different tension
types.
levels,
Yeah,
different,
absolutely.
and
some of them acting like they were seeing red.
strategies. Yeah. And it was one of those things where, like, when gentle James over here sees a little bit of red on me, it's hard for me to stay somewhat
not going
relaxed
red
and not try and
to
respond.
match his red.
Yeah. So it can quickly take me out of where I'm, feeling comfortable. But like, there were a couple times in a couple of the drills we were doing at the seminar where, like, it almost gave me a little bit of a smile, because I'm like, ooh, like, I feel him wanting to pull me this way. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and let that happen. I'm like, oh man, like, it feels like, it feels like a superpower.
If my opponent sees red, it's a huge Christmas gift to me.
Yeah. It was like,
it's like you are being handed all the tools to end it.
Yeah.
By him.
Yeah. He's like you are about to give me, or even like a little bit of bait, where, like, oh, I knew after a little bit, if I moved this way, he was going to move this way in response to it, and commit his weight. And then all it takes is like,
compared to seeing red and acting that way, it's like you coming into a fucking gallows poles with your own noose on your neck. It's already on. You just need to throw it over the fucking beam, Yeah. So
that was interesting. But then, working with other people, like, obviously higher skill level, and it's like, man, like a bag of water. Like, I've got nothing. Like, and now you feel like in that, like, all right, I'm trying not to bring extra tension to it, but fuck, there's nothing. I'm fighting with Jello right now.
But there are people out there that will say, that's because you don't know how to hit properly. If I hit that guy, he would know it.
Yeah, sure. I bet.
You're right. Just come and prove yourself that you're right.
Bobby says Systema strikes look very similar to some Russian boxing strikes.
Actually, Systema strikes, again, aesthetics is one metric. You know, some people have commented over the years that some of the stuff that when Fyodor Emelianenko was active in pride fighting and all that, and he was considered one of the greatest MMA fighters at the time, that some of his big overhand strikes and some of the step off to the side strikes were a little bit Systema like, and it's debatable because if you look at it, Systema is it literally translates as the system. You know what I mean? So it's not there's so many different systemas in Russia. There's Karashnikov Systema. This Systema is Repko Vasiliev Systema. Then you have, and then you have people like Fyodor Emelianenko. He studied combat sambo, right? And sambo has its own three branches: Spiridonov branch, Harlampiev branch, and whatever. So Spiridonov branch actually has a lot, not a lot, but quite a few things that are close to Systema work. Because he went supposedly during those days, after the 1917 revolution, they were sent out to different parts of the world to bring out stuff from different arts. And Spiridonov, apparently, according to what said, that he was kind of like the only one of the three of the, those fighters that were sent out to the world to collect the best fighting stuff and bring it back to Mother Russia. That way, Soviet army is the best. He had physical disabilities. So he was not like big, strong man. He actually was kind of like disabled man. So his style was a lot of shorter work, a lot of very sneaky strikes, a lot of posture manipulations and all that stuff. When you look at branches of sambo like Harlampiev and all that, they have a lot to do with judo. They have a lot to do with some Chinese wrestling styles. The other sambo branches, they are more based. You can see a lot of like, stuff that goes on in Caucasus Mountains or Iranian wrestling or Mongolian wrestling, and then inclusion of like French savate striking into it, and I mean, so it's an amalgamation of so many different styles. So people, again, human has generally speaking two arms, two legs, one head, one dick, two balls if it's male, and generally joints only go one way if it's a healthy way. If it goes the opposite way, it's no good.
Bad day.
So human function is limited. You can say that some of what you do in Systema looks like, some people will say, well, that looks like some styles of Silat or Aikido, or, oh yeah, I saw that similar thing when I went and trained in Laos, with Laotian fighters. Or, oh yeah, this is a little bit similar. What? Yeah, it's done by fucking humans. Humans can only move certain ways. You know what I mean? So yeah, there are some specifics, but again, aesthetically, judging styles aesthetically, I can tell you that the true essence of Systema is beyond what you see. Is beyond what you see. So aesthetic judgment, yeah, you may not be wrong in saying that you'll see some boxers using similar things. You actually are not wrong aesthetically. It is coming from some of the Russian systems. You look at the northern Russian fighting styles like buza, like other things that are more used in the snowy, icy environments when you're in the slippery surfaces and all that. You will see some of that. You will see some of that. Coming into some of the Russian boxers, the way they present themselves. But again, that's aesthetics.
All right. We got Knee Pain Guru.
That's our friend
That's
Bill,
our buddy
who's
Bill.
coming to visit us in a month.
So he's saying, question for each of you: biggest takeaway from Vlad's seminar. Josh, you want to kick it off?
If I had to do something constructive, like something that like I definitely need to work on, I definitely pull back on some of my strikes. Like not intentionally, but like I don't remember the dude's name, but the bald guy, he's like, yeah, I'm not holding back, and I was like, okay, well maybe I shouldn't either, but I was, and it's like I don't know what it was, but it was just like something,
Okay, that's not a bad problem to have, as far as I'm concerned. We'll talk about it separately in classes, but okay. Louis?
Um, man, it's tough because like one of the biggest ones or like coolest moments I felt, right, like, so I really, not to be humble, but think I am like pretty sucky at this stuff and very slow learning it, just because I have such a hard time letting go of tension. Um, and it's something that we did actually in Bill's class where we were trying to breathe like from the floor up. And like I couldn't do it when we were in Henderson. Like I'd get in those stuck spots and like try and breathe through it, but like couldn't keep the tension out. And I don't know what it was, where in the breathing exercises in Vlad's seminar that like I kind of felt it. I don't know if it was when we pushed, like when he was like breathe through your thighs. Maybe it was when it went into the
The
lower
weirdness,
body.
yeah.
And I'm like, exhale with your thighs. And I'm like,
What are you talking
yeah,
about?
like
Right?
like eyes closed, and I'm just like, okay, let's feel it. And like I did, and then he was like the whole body, and then lift this, lift that, like okay, start moving around, and like I got up to my knees like without breaking breath at all, and I was like, like
I can move.
yeah, sometimes it's the little things that are like notable increase, that I hold on to pretty dearly from classes and from the seminar. So that for me was like a big, because it was clear, like boom,
Yeah.
that and the work with other people where like I was like, okay, maybe I'm not as physically challenged as I think I am, because maybe I am starting to get some of this because I was able to, again, with keeping breathing, like feel his tension, use it against him. And so those were my two big takeaway moments.
Bill, if I start talking about it, it's going to be 2 hours. So I'll talk to you when I see you. But I'll give you one. So on the second day, Vlad was doing a little thing there, and on the sidelines. It was not like presentation in front of however many 120 people we had there. And I'm familiar with what he's doing with his hands there and all that. So I decided to take like different vantage point. So I walked behind Vlad and I zoomed in my camera, my two eyes, you know, basically from behind Vlad, from like middle of his head to the bottom of his scapulas, so shoulders. I had a wide screen on his shoulders. I didn't watch nothing else. What's going on with his hips, his legs. I couldn't care less what he's doing with his arms while he's breaking people there and all that stuff. And I watched it for 3 minutes. And I didn't see his shoulder move a single fucking time. 28 years, Bill. 28 years. And I'm standing there and I'm almost crying, going, what in the fuck? The degree of separation and having ability, as Vlad said, when he was discussing, what is how different power feels versus tension, and when we try to generate what we think is power through tension, and then to come away with realization, there's three Vlads there. There's a left arm Vlad, there's a right arm Vlad, and then there's a torso Vlad.
Right.
Well, yeah, there's leg Vlad, right leg, and and then you can break it down further, But watching him do that, man, I was like, and then I walked up to Gene, and I go like, "Hey, watch this." And me and Gene both were looking, we were sitting on the ground watching Vlad from behind, and we looked at each other, and Gene goes like, "You think we're going to become good?" I'm like, "I don't think so."
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and between me and Gene, you're looking at over 50 years training under Vlad.
Yeah, it is so weird watching him move. Because there's stuff. He's just like body parts are just flying, like, and he never appeared to be off balance. His structure never like was unstable at any point. Like he's everywhere and nowhere. It's fucking weird.
I like the comment someone said, Father Adam Zettler. Yes, Father Adam Zettler. Most people don't know, Adam is one of the scariest Systema dudes because we're going to bring him here. We're going to bring him here. I already spoke to Valerie about it, so we're going to bring Adam here. But Adam is also deacon at Russian Orthodox Church. Like, fully trained deacon with, vestments and all that, like our deacon.
Mm-hmm.
And in Orthodoxy, they refer to as fathers, so Father Adam Zettler. And it's funny because Adam is probably about close to 20 years younger than me, so I'm going to have to address him as Father Adam.
Father.
I trained with him back in Toronto, but he was not a father at that point. Although sometimes when he hits you, do feel like Daddy hits you, but.
All right, and then Clem was saying something he got. Probably can't sum it all up in a YouTube post, but main one is how much you can affect someone's structure if you can convince them he's about to hit or grab.
So he's about to succeed. He's about to get what he wants. And so we talked about it a little bit yesterday before we left. Is not having that anxiety and fear and escaping too early. Let him come, and he's already, he can taste it. You know what I mean? He's like, got you. And that's when you do the work.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of training. That takes a lot of internal rewiring, but it changes your work to such level that it's devastating. It's absolutely devastating.
I think you got me with that in Henderson, Clem, when we were working on it a little bit in terms of messing with distance.
Yeah.
It definitely had that effect.
And people sometimes don't realize it's a deeper conversation in our training, but I'm just going to throw it out there. When people talk, the distance and the space, right? How we manipulate. All those are metrics within a big metric of time. And we talked about time. There's linear straight time, chronos that you can watch it, 3 seconds went by. Perceptual time is different. When I move at you, your time is not 1, 2, 3. Your time is different.
Mm-hmm.
Learning to play with that, it brings in some very interesting things into the game. Very interesting things.
And then having initiative saying that their big takeaway from the seminar, having counter strikes be single movement rather than dodge, pause, strike. Yeah, so no.
Yeah, so Vladimir talks about it very often, and he says, most people, and you guys heard me say that. What's the difference between movement plus movement plus movement versus staying in motion? Right? For a lot of people, it's like 2, 3, 4 disjointed movements, like haphazardly screwed, taped together. That's how most people move. I was watching Vlad, and I had some sideline conversations with him about that, and again, it goes beyond of what I should even teach in the classes yet because I need to experiment with it myself. But it clarified a lot of things to me, like his ability to, when he was talking about Mikhail shifting weight, right? And then he throws this one at me. He goes like, shift weight, but the leg that has the weight on it should also be relaxed and free to move.
Yeah. It's easy.
Say fucking what?
It's Sonny. This is easy.
It's easy, Sonny. You know this. You're Sonny.
Simple work. We're just
you've been training with me 20 years. It's easy work.
Just natural.
Just go do it. And you stand there like a fucking idiot that's been hit with a frying pan upside their head 3 times and going like, why do I feel so fucking stupid?
So
but then you see him do that work.
Yeah.
Then you see him fucking do that work, But then you start, if you ask the right questions and all that, certain things start getting kind of like dusted off, and you're like, I remember, And then interestingly enough, you all end up back where? Basic exercises with breathing. Fucking hilarious. You're talking the most advanced concepts, they all are within basic exercises with breathing. And then you take that frying pan yourself and hit yourself 2 more times extra just for good measure, because you deserve it.
Well, that's something like, I know Dylan was kind of saying he's out of his element. A lot of the stuff that is the most important is the stuff that you would take for granted. Be like, well, I know how to walk. I know how to breathe.
Mhm.
I know how to move.
You sure do.
But that just shows you, like, okay, well, as naturally as Vlad does it, like, that's like, he's not faking that. So if I'm walking fucked up and my structure's weird or my breathing's weird, is you've just ingrained to do it fucked up.
Yeah.
Not only that,
You're
but
the
all
dude who's
those
been shooting his whole life.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Fucked up.
I've been
shooting. I've been shooting my whole life. I've been walking my whole
But
life.
I have news for you.
Yeah.
The way you're shooting, the way you're punching, the way you do whatever, it all, you know what it's affected by? By how you breathe, how much you feed your body things. Then how is your posture, your ankles, your knees, your hips, inverted, out, all of that stuff, your spine, your alignment, your hips, your shoulders, your space, how you shift weight, where does your shift start of the weight, which muscles initiate it, or is it fascia movement, or is it muscular movement? Oh, what about your connective tissue? What do you know about that? So people go like, hey, just move. You want to sit down for 10 years to talk about movement? Come on in. So this is where it, to me, becomes funny, because people go like, again, they're looking at aesthetics of something that they cannot duplicate, right? Because they sick. They have so much tension. Their bodies are so limited. They're so robotic. Everything is stiff. Everything is freaking unhealthy. I mean, I have kids in freaking our homeschooling co-op. These are 14-year-old kids, cannot touch their toes. You know what I mean? And you go like, and this is the person that eventually is going to pick up the rifle, start shooting. He's going to be telling me about tactics, how to do the entry right.
Well, he's going to ask you what your bill drill is.
Well, so this the topic Systema is that Systema, because like when I talk to some people and say, oh, we were working on Systema, and they're like, oh, what, like sliding down the stairs on your belly? And I'm like, well, I mean, one, why are you making fun of that? Like,
that's cool.
Like,
you can't do that for damn sure.
Yeah. Like, one, why are you making fun of it? Like, that sounds like a better idea than getting shot in the legs a whole bunch. So, like, let's just pause that. But, like, no, like, we haven't worked on that yet, is what I say. But is that considered Systema? Like, I
know the clip I know the clip you're referencing. Here's the thing: if the human body can perform it, try it. See if it makes sense. See if it provides you with more available time, less exposure, depending on what we're working on, right? Better space, maybe limited injuries, but you don't get shot and you get to shoot him.
Yeah.
I submit to you that's victory. Or you can have 6 guys walk and get their legs blown off, and then that guy is out of fucking ammunition, and then you finally kill him. And you go like, hey, I was number 7. I whacked him. 6 of your comrades are dead. Great fucking victory. And at least you're not embarrassed because you didn't do Systema,
Like,
you just have 6 funerals to attend.
I can't picture that mindset that like sees it as ineffective. Like I could see the mindset that sees it as like,
it's strange.
Maybe it's strange. It's
weird.
A little goofy looking. Like it's odd. It seems
you know what I like to say? I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
Does it mean that it doesn't exist?
No. But like just from a pure anybody with like something rattling around between their ears, like going downstairs is like a real bad,
the worst
situation.
Clearing basement or going downstairs, like, clearing from because you fast roped onto the building and now you have to clear down downstairs.
Because my
hand grenades are beautiful at that.
Because my feet my exposure muzzle offset, like even on me, is
you're short.
You know what I mean?
And even
Like,
if you bend down, you're still
Yeah.
looking at 2.5, 3 feet.
Yeah.
And how much physicality
And how
you're
fast can I move if I'm
and how quickly you're gonna be gassed out.
right? So if I'm duck walking down the stairs, or like, okay, that can limit it a little.
But
bit.
then again, people look at it and they go like, "Oh, so that's how Russians every time they faster open the roof, they all just slide out on their fucking bellies down the fucking stairs, and that's how they clear." I'm like, dude, it's possibly an emergency thing to do, to have it in your arsenal, just like a fucking blooming death. I don't walk around Jacksonville, Texas with a fucking AK and Glock to cover 360. But some dude, apparently, based on a story I heard in Afghanistan, did it and he lived to tell the story. Cool. Do I practice it every day? Did I ever have you guys forced you to practice it, or said you have? No, actually, you see it, you understand it, and you go like, okay, it's an option. As crazy as it may fucking sound, I have an option, and you don't.
Yeah, if you were like, if I walk down these stairs, or realistically, if you're in a huge apartment building, like I can duck walk for a set of stairs or 2 or 3, but not 50. It'd be like it's certain death, or I fuck around with this other thing.
And these are the same, but the same people would have a problem. Like, well, this is why you don't shoot on the move. You run and then shoot, because the shooting will slow you down. So you'll be a harder target to hit while you're moving, to get to a point where you can then deliver a better wall of fire.
We don't teach people how to switch shoulders. It's hard.
Yeah. So like,
I've got a wall of lead in my 380.
But when Jason Bourne slides down the stairs on his back to shoot the people up the stairs, like, he's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Now, my students, so when I had a school in Sarasota, Florida, our school was in the old building and it was on the second floor. And it had steel stairs going up. My students started asking me out of the fucking blue. I came in to teach the class a few minutes late and all that. And they're all standing downstairs and they go like, "Hey, Mr. Sonny, so I was wondering, is it possible to roll up the stairs?" I'm like, fuck, I don't know, never tried. They did.
Roll up the stairs?
Rolling up the steel stairs. It was kind of fucking cool. I know we were training with some other guys in Florida. We would meet by Lake Okeechobee and all that stuff. And because of the Lake Okeechobee is a huge lake, and it has these like huge banks to it, you know what I mean? And it's nice grass and all that. Of course, with plenty of fire ants and all that. And you go like, okay, roll down the hill. Roll up the hill. You want to talk about workout. Rolling up the hill. Not just forward rolls, sideways rolls, backwards rolls up the hill, all the way to the hill. And people go like, why you guys do that? My answer, why not? Why not? Because nobody else does. And maybe, just maybe, that develops something in my body within my movement that nobody else has that will make a difference. Maybe.
So what we got to do is we got to get sliding down the stairs in the next Call of Duty. Then people will want to
I'm done with all of that shit. Not participating in any of that. Sorry. Not sorry.
All right. So it is Systema adjacent.
It does not contradict Systema frame of mind.
Okay. And we got one in from Clem. He just wants a new T-shirt to add to his awesome T-shirt collection.
He doesn't have enough in his fucking collection.
Like, people recognize that. Like, even if they think it's dumb, like, if I saw a dude at the airport with that shirt, I'd be like, "Oh, that guy."
That's it.
Take a selfie.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Dude, that's awesome."
we got to do a video of like the double layer back to back.
We have secrets.
The up and the downstairs at the same time.
Blooming death that covers both layers.
All right. What other questions do you guys have about the seminar?
Nobody said anything like
We didn't
Terrible?
get any haters in.
What's
No.
up, man? I'm disappointed,
No,
guys.
they'll be in the comments.
share-
Comment down below. Drop your hate comments.
Share
about
some stuff with people that would hate us. Come on,
Yeah.
man. This is becoming like too friendly, too nice, and damn it, it's almost disappointing.
See, like they should have, instead of saying like asking like whether Systema is Bullshido or legit, you should be like it's the only legit thing, and then everyone's gonna come in like, oh, but karate pajama. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know. Again, I think, and I guess it's from the principles worked on in Systema, but like there weren't really any. I didn't come across any assholes. Like not even I didn't come across one. Like
In
I
the
don't
group
know
of 120
what-
people.
Yeah.
Right.
Like was there?
It's pretty rare.
Did you hear? Was anybody?
No,
There's-
there were no assholes. There were people that were not in control of their movement. There were people that were allowing themselves to go back to their Muay Thai or whatever else they
Mhm.
practice. They are professional kickboxers, and they were, doing their stuff. And I would step in and go like, "Hey, man, you don't need to do this." Short one, understood. They were not assholes.
Yeah.
They didn't have like a bad bone in their
They're
body just to
students.
hurt people. This is what they do. This is their understanding at
Mhm.
current level. So you don't go there to punish them. You show them, you correct them, you explain a little bit, and they're still going to lose their shit. Their shit meaning is that they're going to get excited. I mean, and they're going to revert back to their old ways and all that, and that diminishes amount of learning that they will do. But that's the process. Everyone training system went through it. We all were too eager. We all were too aggressive. We were all to this, to that. You know what I mean? But I know how to do this. But I know how to whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and like there was dinner on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Like sitting at table with like a bunch of
Hmm?
people you didn't know. Like people didn't click up for dinner.
No.
So it was like, there might have been, what were we, a group of like 8?
Yeah.
And I think there were 2 or 3 from our group at a table, but then, people from 2 other groups.
Yeah.
And so just like,
Met Reverend Bart at the seminar. I didn't realize how incomplete my life was until Saturday. Yeah, well, that was Bart's first experience with Vladimir, so he may have some reflections going on in his hard head, but we shall see.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We shall see.
there was one point he was standing against the wall, and I realized too late, I think, in the seminar, although I'm glad I didn't at the same time, that like, hey, if you can follow Vlad, there's these side things going on.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
And so, you had mentioned it like, hey, try and keep your eye on him as he moves through people.
Yeah.
And like, so I was trying to do that from afar. And like, yeah, sometimes you just lose him in the crowd, and that's weird. But then I started like, I followed him from like 3 spots to like, standing
And
over
there's
at
some
the
gold
side.
and there's some
yep.
gold nuggets happening. there.
Yeah, for sure. I'm like, okay, all right, already sweaty from working on the thing we were working on, and okay, like what's he talking about? Like, okay,
And
then
then
that
you're
guy,
like, holy shit, man.
and then like those 2 dudes go back to work, and then they're
He goes to the next group.
practicing the thing that he
Yeah.
was in your thing, and then like I'd go around, get a different angle on watching him talk to the next 2 or 3 dudes, and like
For many,
that
many
was a really
seminars
cool
over
thing.
years, I was actually filming Vladimir stuff.
Mm.
So I would follow him in all this, recording all of his explanations on the sidelines and all these little group
Mhm.
group chit chats happening there. And sometimes it's 2 new guys. Sometimes it's like Martin Wheeler working with Quan Lee together. Very different conversations. You know what I mean? And you go
Yeah.
like, which one should go in the video? Not that one, because it's, you know what I mean? But for those who are working at that level, that's like a fucking gold mine. You know what I mean? You're like, holy shit, man. Stuff that he's showing and explaining. But that stuff with the new guys is not less valuable, because that's what's going to bring those guys eventually to that level.
Mhm.
And it's funny, man. Like in numerous seminars, probably at least half a dozen seminars, I was walking around and filming Vlad's work. and I just follow him no matter where Vlad goes. I'm like a little fucking cameraman. Sometimes I would put it down because he would use me for demonstration. Someone else picks it up or whatnot. But yeah, man, you pick up some stuff that it's absolute gold. It's absolute gold.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and one of them, he saw me, and he was working with somebody on something, and probably don't even talk about it. People won't understand. That's totally fake stuff, right? And he's like looking around, like looks, and like I'm just trying to be invisible, but he's like, Lewis, come here. Like, this. I'm like, oh shit, me. And so then, we start talking, or he's explaining some stuff, and we're doing a little bit of work with me and another dude. And then like Bart is like up against the wall on the other side. And like Vlad walks away. And then the dude that I'm working with like looks at Bart like, hey, you want to work in with us? And Bart was like, dude, like, no way. Like, as soon as Vlad walked away, all my tension came back. Ain't no way I think I could do any of that right now.
Yeah, this event I probably saw the Bart's eyes bulging out the most for I've known him for 13 years or whatever, but Bart was like, what the hell am I witnessing? So yeah, that was fun. Do you have any questions from the audience? Anything worthwhile to address or answer?
I guess we're up over an hour.
Yeah. So anyway, for those of you guys who are interested, Vlad does not travel as much as he's used to. Next seminar he's going to do in the United States is going to be in October in West Palm Beach, I believe. I'm planning to go for one. My daughter lives there. October, Florida. Very good combination. Mm-hmm. Very good combination. Spend some beach time with the family, and then get your ass kicked and get some learning on, and get a chance to hang out with Vladimir and company. So I'm assuming probably more than just me gonna travel there from our neck of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys go to his website, check his stuff out. He does travel to Europe a few times a year. He travels to Japan. He does things around, So if you're one of those touristy type of dudes that also wants to get a little bit, pain inoculation and knowledge added to your travels, not a bad thing. He has Patreon channel. He has all kinds of things going on. Those of you guys who know me, who follow me, who watch my work, who take my classes, maybe, and I'm not saying that I'm some kind of authority, but someone with my experience, my work and all that, Vlad has been, bar none, the most influential person in my training. Bar none. No other person comes close. And I consider him not only the most influential, but the most, how would I say, essential teacher I've ever had. And I'm not just talking technically, technicalities of this and that. I'm talking this space, that space, and on and on and on. So yeah, you can say that I'm a fanboy. I'm not. I'm his student. I consider Vlad a friend, a mentor. So yeah, I cannot recommend it highly enough. It's not for stupid people. It's not for ignoramuses. If you want to test things, I mean, if I'm too small of a fish for you to test, by all means, fly to Toronto, challenge Vlad. I will say a prayer for you.
Yeah, don't worry. It is fake. Go to trial and prove it.
Yeah.
Be sure to film it.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Fuck.
So, yeah,
what do you do? You can't even, it's not even like bring a knife. Like, no, like that's going to be worse for you. Like, fuck.
as what's his face with the OG said, you just might as well.
Yeah, Ken Hackathon, like
like Ken Hackathon said, yeah.
Oh, I'll just shoot him. Yeah,
just blow your own brain.
Like, oh man, And having initiative. Great to see you guys again, meet new people. You as well. I'm not sure who lives behind that
Daniel.
name.
He sat at dinner with us.
Very good. Very good. Yes, it was very, very good to meet a lot of good new people with all the crap going on in the world. Like,
no, that's another thing that's cool about Systema events is that, there is little time to socialize or whatnot. Most people are cool.
mm-hmm.
Most people are actually, they like smart people. Many of them are read very well. They do have opinions. They're not going necessarily with the crowd. They're not waving this flag or that flag necessarily.
It's a mature curriculum.
Mature.
Like you can't be like. Well,
and that's how Systema was described once. It's a martial art for adults in martial arts. And to be adult in martial arts, you have to be adult. Period.
Yeah.
And my observation in our gun world, we have shortage of adults.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Huge shortage.
Yeah. Like there was no show and tell at the Systema seminar. Like, hey, look at this. I'm wearing these fighting pants.
What kind of gi is that? What kind of socks are you wearing?
Everybody looks at Vlad's little loafers that he's wearing there in the next seminar. Everybody wears those, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, I did buy those shoes because he's been wearing the same brand for like 20 years.
I was trying to look because
I'll tell you what they are. I'll tell you what they are.
I'm into the barefoot.
They're
stuff.
they're not cheap,
Right.
and they don't last very long. But comfort wise, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
I had like 6 pairs since then.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
All right.
He actually recommended them to me because I'm like, man, like it looks like your feet are. He's like, yeah, dude. He actually found them when he was traveling, when he was vacationing in Florida. He put them on, and they became his favorite training shoes.
Oh, it just something he picked up in Florida. Yeah, because it did. I didn't want to ask gear questions, right?
I have a couple of pairs, so I'll tell you exactly.
Because I'm pretty sure it's more his foot than the shoes.
But they are super comfortable.
But
and I even know a couple of stores in Sarasota that sell them. So
yeah, and I'll definitely be doing the West Palm one. We've got friends that own hotels in that town, so we should be able to get some cheap rooms if needed. So if
I'm driving, I'm not flying.
If you're thinking about going down, hit me up. If you have means to get in contact with me, or drop it in the comments here. If you're needing a hotel to book down in West Palm, I can probably sort out some kind of good group rates. And
so I think it's October 10th, 11th. You can guys look it up. It's
the
Tommy Floyd will be hosting it. He's one of Systema instructors there in South Florida, and good guy. But again, having myself lived in Florida for a number of years, October is a great time in Florida.
Yeah, well, and also
it's no longer 95 degrees. Mm-hmm. It's usually mostly sunny. You get the 10-minute fucking, noontime monsoon, and then sun is back.
Well, and that one's called tactical relaxation.
82, 84 degrees, breeze. Yes, baby. Mm-hmm.
All right. See you guys next week. Drop comments.
Yep.
Let us know what you want to see broke down for next week.
Tomorrow on my podcast, I have Rob Pincus as my special guest.
Yes.
We will be talking about some stuff because Rob also has expressed some opinions that may not necessarily completely jive with a lot of folks in the gun circles. And me and Rob, generally speaking, don't see eye to eye. I'm not saying that we see eye to eye. What I appreciate is that he's not afraid to ask questions. And to me, that's called maturity.
Yeah.
Again, me and him disagree on so many things. He thinks my training is unsafe and all that. And we may not talk about it. I don't know. It's not scripted, But I also don't do this shit like with James, Just because I disagree about this or that does not mean that this other person is, jackass asshole. He deserves to die and fuck him and his family. No, I met Rob on a few occasions, and seemed very gentlemanly, very, very soft-spoken and well-spoken
Mhm.
dude. Probably one of the best dressed dudes in the industry. His suits, forget about it.
Yeah.
Finucci's.
Yeah. I only met him once, but seemed like a cool dude. We drank some bourbon. We were hanging out in the Best Western parking lot in Camden,
And you said he was carrying. And he was carrying.
He was carrying. He had Enigma Express. He's the one that told me to ditch the leg leash off of mine. So yeah.
There you go.
Yep. And then
So tomorrow at 7:30, I'll have Rob Pincus on Let Us Attend on my channel. So, and next Monday, we'll pick something to dissect on this channel here of ours. You guys share it, spread the word. Some conversations may be more, even flow. Some of them may have some spikes. Some of them may be bloody, because we're dissecting bloody events or bloody crimes or bloody murders or shootings or police interactions or whatnot. So spread the word, subscribe, follow, and thanks for being here.
Say something cool, Josh.
something cool, Josh.